A veteran nurse gives us the scoop. And the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas rejects claims of political victimization.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, thousands of visitors are streaming into Carnival Celebration Key, and organizers say their transportation system is designed to keep things running smoothly while ensuring that local taxi operators in Grand Bahama remain part of the overall plan. Earlier today, officials gave ZNS News a first-hand look at the transportation operation during a guided tour of the facility. The details in tonight's top story. With thousands of visitors now arriving at Carnival Celebration Key, officials say the focus has always been on keeping transportation efficient while ensuring local stakeholders, especially the Grand Bahama taxi operators, are not left behind. In fact, Dominic Pinder, Senior Operations Manager at Celebration Key, says multiple meetings were held in the months leading up to the launch aimed at listening to concerns and building a system that works.
So from the get-go, meetings with the Ministry for Energy and Transport, meetings with the regulatory authority, which is the Road Traffic Department, and meeting with the taxi union themselves. And guess what? They even requested a personalized customer service training plan that we put together to teach them how to function at this facility. Some taxi operators feel they're not benefiting as much as expected, raising concerns about limited access to passengers. But Pinder says the system is still evolving. You know, our days, it comes and it goes because of ship capacity, the number of guests and ships that's in port. Some days, like today was one of those days, we had to call for additional taxis. With cruise ships arriving daily, taxi union officials acknowledge that the business is steady and say their relationship with Carnival remains strong. They credit early dialogue with creating a workable plan.
Be there for their opening on the 19th of July, and it was all made clear that we would be moving into stage 2 as Carnival developed their grounds more, because you can look around, you can see they still have some work to do. And Carnival itself will work with us above board. They hid nothing from us, and as far as I can see, it's working beautiful. The partnership is working beautiful so far.
So we have no problem, no gripes with them. But this is phase 1, like I said, and it'll be much better moving forward.
Meanwhile, Carnival Operations Manager Justin Dittmar also spoke about logistics while highlighting the amenities offered to taxi operators.
So for the 8 taxis that are here in the loading bay, 30 there in the parking lot, we have access to water, we have access to facility restroom, we also have shaded areas with benches that they can wait for their guests to come out to book their tours. Also, other than the 38 that are up here, we also have a taxi sanctuary that's right down in the queue area outside of the guardhouse. And to maintain order and safety, the Road Traffic Department remains a constant presence on property.
To make sure that their licenses are valid, make sure that they are making sure that the tourists are safe at entering and exiting their vehicles, and making sure that they are treated fairly to make sure that they get some share of business from Carnival Key and what comes off the cruise ship.
Switching gears now, for years the country has battled a chronic nursing shortage. One health officials now say is primarily a shortage of specialist nurses. While efforts are being taken in hopes of raising those numbers, a veteran nurse detailed some of the challenges as shared by nurses themselves. Our Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Despite the country's efforts to train and retain nurses, the Bahamas continues to lose them to the U.S., Canada, and England as they seek more lucrative job opportunities. In 2024, Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, shared the public health system had a shortage of some 450 nurses, and this is despite programs like nursing cadets that former principal nursing officer at the Rand Memorial Hospital, Sherilyn Bain, says is designed to address the problem.
At the end of the completion of that program, which lasts for about a year, they are given full scholarship into the University of the Bahamas, full tuition, and that was an incentive to attract young people into, being trained as a nurse. without parents have to come up with that out of pocket.
While a lack of competitive salaries have also factored into the country's ability to retain nurses, Bain says nurses have also expressed other concerns.
You know, it's public knowledge. They want to work in a safe and healthy environment. They want their equipment at hand. Not only equipment, they want working equipment at hand, that type of thing. They want to be exposed to specialty training that is not Nassau-centric, that they can stay at home. Because most of these nurses, after 5 years, already started their families, they have commitment, and now to uproot that family to go into New Providence, sometimes that is a challenge.
To address the nurse shortfall, the Bahamas recruits from countries like the Philippines and Ghana, also recently putting a pause on recruitment from Cuba after U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio threatened visa sanctions against countries that engage them amid concerns over forced labor, following reports most of their salaries are forwarded to a Cuban government agency. While Bain says nurses have expressed a willingness to work with the salary, something else holds importance.
Of course, respect from the general public, respect from other colleagues. They want to be valued, they want to be seen as a valuable component of healthcare delivery.
In June, the Minister of Health shared the nurse shortage had dropped to 200. Bain says to address the shortage, government has also extended the age of retirement for nurses who can now work until 70. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
In news from Abaco, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority is providing an update on its ongoing investigation into a crash landing that occurred on July 31st, 2025. The incident took place shortly after the aircraft took off from the Leonard Thompson International Airport. Our Shelia Rolls spoke with Kendall Dorsett Jr. and files details in this report.
The Aircraft Accident Investigation Authority is currently investigating an emergency landing that occurred shortly after takeoff from the Leonard Thompson International Airport in Abaco on July 31st, 2025. The Piper PA-32 aircraft piloted by Abaco businessman Troy Kania reportedly began experiencing difficulties mid-air, forcing the emergency landing. Chief investigator at the AAIA, Kendall Dorsett, says communication is ongoing with the pilot and the Royal Bahamas Police Force to determine the exact cause of the incident.
In contact with the pilot, and we're gathering data from the pilot, from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and we've also been in contact with the United States National Transportation Safety Board.
According to initial reports, the aircraft made an emergency landing in marshland west of Treasure Key. At the time, the pilot was able to contact emergency personnel. The chief investigator says arrangements are being made to recover the aircraft to assist in investigations.
At this time, there are plans underway to retrieve the aircraft, and so we're coordinating with our Florida-based recovery team to facilitate the retrieval of the aircraft.
At the time of this frightening ordeal, the pilot was en route to Florida and he escaped with no serious injuries. There are currently no timelines on when the investigation will be completed, but it is underway.
We can conduct further analysis as to understanding why the event took place.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shelia Roll.
In crime news, police on Grand Bahama are questioning an adult male in connection with an alleged sexual assault that occurred on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. Preliminary reports indicate that a female victim told police she was sexually assaulted by a man against her will shortly before 8:30 p.m. while in the vicinity of a beach. Meanwhile, police say a traffic stop on Saturday, August 2nd led to the confiscation of an illegal firearm and the arrest of a 40-year-old man. Mobile Division officers made that stop at the junction of East Mall Drive and East Settlers Way. Upon searching the driver's vehicle, they found the weapon loaded with ammunition. The man was taken into custody and investigations continue. Well, another firearm discovery, but this time at a local eatery. Police discovered and confiscated an illegal firearm found in the bathroom of a local restaurant Monday. Police officers were at the eatery on Bayshore Road when they made the discovery shortly after 7:30 p.m. No arrests have been made and investigations continue. Switching gears now, the rant of a Free National Movement's aspiring candidate triggering a response tonight from the Broadcasting Corporation, and here's why.
It's a travesty to have a candidate who was actually ran off the show. I mean, you should see these that they coming in, interrupting the show, telling the host, hey, look here, we can't have that, stop talking politics. This is a free country, not just because we take money from China, that means we gotta act like we're communists.
There you have Omar Isaacs using social media to publicly accuse the Broadcasting Corporation of victimization and censorship following his recent appearance on Power 104.5's Man-to-Man Conversation, a talk show primarily focused on issues affecting men in Bahamian society. The BCB tonight flatly rejects Isaac's claims. In a release, it stressed that during the program, the station manager advised the host during commercial breaks to keep the discussion aligned with the show's intended focus. The conversation, however, continued to veer away from there. A decision then was made to end the show early. The release added that at no time following the incident did Isaacs contact the corporation's executive management to raise any concerns or file a formal complaint. However, should he wish to discuss matters of national importance and a political nature, he, as the case with every previous request for coverage, is welcomed, and as it relates to the FNM's deputy Shannon Cartwright's call for an apology, the BCB notes that he was invited and confirmed as a guest on the ZNS political program The Rundown just last week, but cancelled less than 24 hours before the scheduled appearance, stressing that every request for coverage made by Mr. Isaacs has been honored, adding that at no point has he been denied access or opportunity to share his views through the corporation's platforms.
And still to come.
ZNS Northern Service bids farewell to a wonderful group of interns. We'll have that story plus sports highlights when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
The Bahamas has been a nation marching for progress. We are more than sunny skies and blue seas. We are a nation filled with purpose, opportunity, and innovation. With each generation, our spirit grows stronger, our dreams brighter, with our banners waving high. Join us as we continue to pass the torch, fostering freedom, progress, opportunity, and innovation for years to come. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from Commonwealth Bank.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
It's back to school and back to savings at Bellevue Business Depot. 20% store-wide sale until September 13th on cash and credit card purchases. Spend $50 or more to enter to win a laptop. Drawing and sale ends September 13th.
Take your business to another level with Flamingo Bahamas Discount Saving Network. Get free TV and radio ads, local and international exposure. For more information, log on to www.flamingobahamas.com. The 2025 NACAC Track and Field Championships are coming to Freeport August 15 through 17. Athletes from across the region will compete at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex in 3 days of non-stop action. Follow NACAC Athletic Championship on Facebook and Instagram.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
It's now time for your Health is Wealth Monday tip.
Swimmer's ear is an infection often brought on by water left in your ear after swimming. The most common cause of this infection is bacteria invading the skin inside your ear canal. Usually, you can treat swimmer's ear with ear drops. Prompt treatment can help prevent complications and more serious infections. The symptoms are usually mild at first, but they may get worse if your infection is not treated or if it spreads. So please visit your doctor when you begin to notice an ear infection, because the earlier you seek treatment, the easier the infection is to resolve. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, it's so good to have you back.
Feel refreshed, rejuvenated, feel fresh. But coming up in sports, in fact, right after we leave tonight, we're going to Corporate League, me and Lavon, Corporate League basketball. And also, Yolette McPhee will be in Abaco this weekend hosting a basketball clinic, Raven.
All right, sounds good. Well, sports is coming your way next.
This weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
'Cause it's so beautiful.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
It's back to school with Bellevue Gifts and Supplies. Shop now and get huge savings on composition books, 15% off textbooks, workbooks, school supplies, and all teachers' aids. Bellevue Gifts and Supplies, Queens Highway, making going back to school more affordable.
Do you want to find relief from common health concerns such as headaches, back pain, chronic inflammation, and more? How about improved sleep, boost energy, and improve overall well-being? Check out RA Balance Bahamas and get your body into balance with biomagnetic therapy. For all our social links, contacts, or to request an appointment, visit rabalancebahamas.com.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm self-insuring my investments starting with this tarp.
We all remember the blue tarps after the storm. Let's make sure that we are covered with more than a tarp. Don't allow your investment to be at risk. Protect your investment with one of our insurance policies.
Nobody does it better.
Strength isn't claimed, it's built. At Heroic Concrete, every block is made with purpose. Crafted to protect, poured to endure. From ready-mix to premium 8-inch blocks, we supply the strength our nation needs. Proudly made in Grand Bahama, built for hurricanes, built for legacy. Creating products that bring value to our lives and strength to our future. Call 820-4376 or email sales@heroicgrouplimited.com.
ladies and gents, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Talking Sports. Old Miss Lady Rebels head coach and Bahamian women's national team head coach Yolette McPhee is scheduled to host a free basketball clinic this Saturday, August 9th in Abaco. The clinic will be held at Agape Christian School beginning at 9 a.m.
I'm looking forward to just teaching the basic fundamentals of the game. I have some friends that will be there with me coaching and helping. We got everybody that attends will get a free basketball and a No Ceilings with Coach Yo Foundation backpack that was sponsored by Nike. This event is going to be one that's exciting to me. I hadn't been to Abaco in probably like 15 years, and the goal was to have a clinic in every island. So we started off in Freeport. Obviously, that's hometown for me. From there, we went to Nassau, and Nassau was rocking last year. And I'm hoping that Abaco shows up and shows out.
Sticking with hoops, Corporate League basketball playoffs and championships is set for this week over at St. George's Gymnasium. League Commissioner Trevor Smith says the league has been balanced this year.
The competition has been great, but I figured that once you're on not lower level, but a regular level, but all teams balanced, that you don't have a bunch of all-stars in one team, everybody on one title level, the competition be much better and be more competitive.
And finally, in sports, the Grand Bahamas CDLC Tour darts tournament saw some of the best players in the Caribbean region compete in darts over 3 days.
We had persons from Argentina, Guyana, Puerto Rico, Brazil that represented their country. And basically everything was run smoothly. Competitions was really tight. We had a #1 ranking Bahamian, Mr. Rashad Sweeting, that represented the Bahamas, and he did pretty well.
Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
The 2025 NACAC Track and Field Championships are coming to Freeport August 15 through 17. Athletes from across the region will compete at the Grand Bahamas Sports Complex in 3 days of non-stop action. Follow NACAC Athletic Championship on Facebook and Instagram.
Have the following supplies on hand at the start of the hurricane season. A minimum 3-day supply of water, which provides 1 gallon of water per person per day. Minimum 3-day supply of non-perishable food items. Flashlights and extra batteries. A battery-powered radio to receive broadcasts that will keep you informed of the storm. A first aid kit. A 7-day supply of any prescribed medication. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
Your #1 team in the north. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And just before we close, Jay, 4 weeks, 9 amazing interns. They were able to actually touch on some radio and some TV. Just an amazing experience.
I must say these interns are really good this time around. Not that they weren't good in past years, but I learned a lot from these interns, and I had two working with me in sports. They did an excellent job. Raven?
Definitely. Well, Julanda Thompson Everest has their experience in this report.
bright and ambitious minds walk through the doors of ZNS Northern Service with one goal in mind: to work hard, have fun, and immerse themselves in the world of journalism. Dorissa, Patrick, Michael, Jaden, Rihanna, Roshan, Roche, Grace, and Aaron are just a few of the talented interns who will certainly be missed as their time with us comes to a close. Throughout their internship, they made a lasting impression with their dedication, enthusiasm, and infectious sense of humor. Here's what they had to say about their experience at ZNS Northern Service.
My time at ZNS was pretty good. Got to experience a new field, which is media, what I never thought I would have been in. And I get to really see the behind the scenes of how the news comes on.
I had a great experience on both sides. When I was at radio, I didn't want to leave, but coming over to this side, I know it's a whole different ballpark. I learned that there was so much to do. You go on assignments.
I really enjoyed my time here, building connections with some people. Xavier, for example, my little cross buddy. Yeah. I have a connection with Warren, who works here, because he gave me $10 to buy some KFC down the street.
I was the first intern to do Top Story, so I was able to do that, and I feel like I did pretty well.
My experience here at ZNS was a great one. To be in such a lively and friendly work environment was very nice.
In this particular organization, I feel as if everybody is just close with each other. Everybody just want to get the job done.
When it comes to what they've learned and who made the biggest impact, here's what they had to say.
It was fun to experience, and especially with all the cameramen showing me how to work the camera and not, and then I get to experience behind the camera and in front of it.
Something that I did new this summer was scripting stories and working more on SOT assignments, so actually being behind the camera, doing the interviews.
Even though this isn't the particular career I want to choose within my life, I still feel like I could take different bits and pieces from working out.
And I even got to pick sound bites and put a story together, for the TSA story and the Cecil Thompson story.
When I first came on my first week here, I wanted to edit, and I wanted to do nothing else but edit. But Warren obviously gave me the task right away. He said, "Boy, what you doing there sitting down? No, come edit this, right?" So while I was editing, I guess Machina had different plans for me, and she was like, "Just do a piece for camera." After doing a piece for camera, I had to, write my story. Raven helped me put everything in the system.
As they bid farewell, the interns extend their heartfelt thanks to the staff at ZNS Northern Service, especially Senior DGM Allison Smith, Shashinarul Farkason, and the dedicated team of reporters.
Everyone had a great impact on me. I was able to learn a little something from everyone in every different aspect.
My time here was enjoyable, and some days were fun, some days were funny. Some stories were exciting.
I was able to see so much personality within the whole ZNS crew, and I'm grateful for that.
Thank you for the experience. I had a great one.
Special shout out to Malik and Gio for showing me how to edit.
Thank you so much for just inviting me in and welcoming me.
It was amazing. I'll do it again and again and again and again. Shout out to everyone. Big up yourself, love who you love, bless who you bless up still.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Great story, Jolanda. Well, that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next. They are on your screen.
Is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the relationship between the Civil Aviation Authority and aircraft owners and operators soaring to new heights. Plus, efforts to ramp up the country's digital currency platform. And the BCB stands its ground in the face of claims of censorship and victimization. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Catching a flight not as simple as it seems. Among the list of things to consider before you roll that suitcase onto the ramp, does the aircraft meet safety standards, or is your pilot even qualified for the job? And that's where the Civil Aviation Authority steps in. Danielle Dean takes it from here.
When you're hopping on a flight to Miami, the only thing on your mind is probably shopping and Walmart. But there's so much more that goes into getting you safely to and fro. And with 20 international airports in the Bahamas, in order to securely and safely provide aviation services to the public, the Civil Aviation Authority and aircraft owners and operators must be in constant discussion. This is the exact goal of Cab Talks, the authority's new monthly discussion platform meant for the presentation and solving of issues between industry and regulator.
This is one of the first points of cooperation that I would ask between the regulator and the industry. ICAO comes to its member states at a scheduled basis, every 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or as the need arises, to do a series of audits.
It's the International Civil Aviation Organization, a specialized United Nations agency that develops policies and standards for local stakeholders to follow. Director of Operations with Western Air, Wolf Seaford, admits that while the Civil Aviation Authority is doing a commendable job enforcing some regulations, there's still work to be done with others.
They are being very proactive right now and sending inspectors off for training, which is very good. But also on the legality side of it, the regulations have to be updated. Corrective action plans are put in place in the event these inspectors observe any flaws in the process. Flaws like adjustments to signage, Shands admits, are present.
Currently, I wouldn't be able to say what the status is at any particular airport because, as indicated, they're updated frequently.
There are 61 airports in the Bahamas, more than the United Kingdom. Another pressing issue last summer, concern was raised by a pilots association after CAB announced an air law exam was mandatory for both initial and renewed licenses. The exam, according to the Personnel Licensing Department, is currently in the beta testing phase and is yet to be assigned a release date.
We do thank the body BAOPA, who, as well as the Bahamas Airline Pilots Association, that had come in and provided very constructive criticism on the matter.
With the aviation industry constantly evolving, stakeholders including CAB are committed to upholding international standards. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Meantime, while Civil Aviation Legal Advisor Ryan Sands says the authority is excited to see the introduction of new technology like drones, sometimes the law can't keep up with the developments. Still, it's important to know that the aerial camera platform requires a process before operation: registration, permits, then adherence to existing regulations.
We're trying to now create new regulations to address the influx and continued use of drones in both the commercial and recreational spaces, as well as for government use. We have our police force and defense force utilizing drone technology. So we want to ensure that there are regulations in place for the safe operation by anyone in those areas.
Though not yet in country, CAB's in talks about introducing vitals and plans to solicit the opinion of the operating and traveling public before laws are actually put in place.
When it comes to, as we call it, VTOL, that is vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, we are in discussions as a state with a new group called the Archer Group, who is looking at bringing such aircraft to the Bahamas for operation. It is only in the discussion stage. We are currently putting the regulation out for industry consultation, so we would ask the industry and the Bahamian public to look out for that.
In other news tonight, the Global Scam Alliance last year estimated that more than $1 trillion was obtained through illegal online schemes, with attempted account siphoning happening at a staggering rate of once per week. The Bahamas Financial Intelligence Unit responding defensively with an anti-money laundering training focused on educating gaming board members on prolific tactics and how to fight back. Lloyd Allen has the story.
Determined to stay ahead of the scammers, more than 55 registrants on Tuesday participated in a gaming board training with lead coordinator Joanne Creary.
For the licensees, we're going to speak about, well, what is money laundering, what is terrorist financing, what is proliferation financing.
Phishing, according to Creary, a common hassle for industry partners.
We always have the slogan, if it says to click here, always be aware.
With the elderly and unsuspecting individuals said to be the more common victims to these scams, much of the anti-fraud efforts are centered on keeping the Bahamas off the list of countries cited as non-compliant with the regional watchdog, the Caribbean Financial Action Task Force.
We know the gaming sector has an inherent high risk based on the fact that when we're looking at especially casinos, we're dealing with high net worth clients, and those individuals as well take the risk up to high.
Creary says from a regional perspective, adjustments have been made to offset challenges. However, the real test lies in the CFATF's upcoming mutual evaluation.
It was a culture shock when we were all faced with having to present KYC and having to provide all of this information to the banking sector, but it's now become second nature for us all.
Bahamar AML Compliance Officer Felice Aubry and Laurent Fox from Bimini World also celebrating the training.
Financial services as a whole, it's important that that we're always on the forefront.
Somebody thinking that they could just take advantage, oh, you're an island. No, they get to find out that we are very stringent.
Trainings like this are intended to better equip local operators with the tools needed to better address those issues related to fraud. Reporting from the National Training Agency for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, digital currencies on the fast track to having a more dominant presence here in the Bahamas. In recent years, the central bank has soft-launched its Sand Dollar platform, but according to Central Bank Governor John Rowe, that's expected to multiply in upcoming years.
We've given ourselves a target in the next 2 years to transition the Bahamas to fast payments, which means, in the simplest way of translating it, that the population more universally are using their smartphones and other technologies to send and receive payments in real times across the digital wallet space and the bank deposit space. So we think from a revolutionary perspective, that is going to accelerate the digital currency use as well as other digital payment use, because it's going to push all of our financial institutions in the space of providing the mobile apps for peer-to-peer and P2B business transactions.
Still talking finance, the Bahamas Financial Services Board this weekend focused on the country's economic and financial outlook. Amaya Moss has the details.
Data from the Bank of the Bahamas and the Caribbean Development Bank shows nearly 28% of Bahamians have ongoing debt obligations in home and auto loans. Subsequently, the national landscape adds further weight. As of 2024-2025, according to the Ministry of Finance Fiscal Energy Strategy Report, public debt in the Bahamas stands approximately at 79 to 80% of gross domestic product. Over the weekend, Bahamas Financial Services united numerous banks and financial institutions in a powerful collaboration aimed at advancing financial literacy across the Bahamas, providing valuable resources and education, aiding Bahamians in taking greater control of their financial futures.
It's about their awareness, and what better way to bring the awareness to the general public but by coming to the mall where we know the general public usually frequents. And so financial literacy, I can't stress, it is imperative that our Bahamians become aware of how they can secure their financial future and the different avenues for them to do so.
Locals spoke about the urgent need for financial literacy in the capital, highlighting its critical role in breaking cycles of debt and building economic independence.
I don't see why anyone would think financial literacy isn't important. It's definitely something that people need to stay aware of all the time. Stay on top of your bills, stay on top of your personal upkeep. All these things cost money these days.
Very imperative, because we spend money every day, but a lot of folks, they don't know how to manage what they have. So mismanagement is why a lot of folks right now, they have a lot of challenges. So You only can mismanage what you don't understand. So once you understand it, you could manage it better.
As the cost of living soars with consumer debt at unprecedented levels, Bahamians are being advised to practice financial prudence to create a pathway to financial resilience. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Amaya Moss.
Coming up, the Broadcasting Corporation rejects an aspiring candidate's claim. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More news in a moment.
We are more than sunny skies and blue seas. We are a nation filled with purpose, opportunity, and innovation. With each generation, our spirit grows stronger, our dreams brighter, with our banners waving high. Join us as we continue to pass the torch, fostering freedom, progress, opportunity, and innovation for years to come. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from Commonwealth Bank.
Long day? Hungry crew? Say less and satisfy everyone with KFC's Summer Buckets. Grab a super summer bucket and get 8 juicy pieces of fried chicken, 8 nuggets, corn, our new white rice with gravy, 4 buttery biscuits, 4 Switcher Pink lemonades, and 4 dessert biscuits. So whether it's on the beach, at home, or chilling with the crew, KFC's Summer Bucket starting at just $20. Bring all the flavor. Summer with KFC. It's finger licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Welcome to the Intra-African Trade Fair 2025, the gateway to abundant opportunity, the platform for more, access to a continent with more makers and creators, more technology and manufacturing capabilities, more innovators and collaborators, more information and knowledge, a continent of opportunities for business in more markets and resources that accelerate progress and create space for more infrastructure, connectivity and networking, more creativity, production, and more deals for the people. Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AFCFTA Secretariat, brings you the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair, hosted by the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. Over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees, 140 plus countries, $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities. Register now and enter the gateway to new opportunities.
Are you straight?
Bro, I ain't getting no service. I can't make no calls. I can't post nothing on my stories. I don't get it.
Wait, you went on a live? Shad, come, let's fix that. Come. This one needs saving. Pour them over, please.
Say less. Sign up today. Enjoy 5 gigs on us with select prepaid plans when you port your number to Alive, or 3 months free Alive Fiber services when you port your landline.
You're looking at a shot of the Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium in the Queen Elizabeth Sports Center. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Kyson Miller. Oh, welcome back. The rant of a Free National Movement's aspiring candidate triggering a response tonight from the Broadcasting Corporation. And here's why.
It's a travesty to have a candidate who was actually ran off the show. I mean, you should see these that they coming in, interrupting the show, telling the host, hey, look here, we can't have that, stop talking politics. This is a free country, not just because we take money from China, that means we got to act like we're communists.
There you have Omar Isaacs using social media to publicly accuse the Broadcasting Corporation of victimization and censorship following his recent appearance on Power 104.5's Man-to-Man Conversation, a talk show primarily focused on issues affecting men in Bahamian society. The BCB tonight flatly rejecting Isaacs' claims. In a release, it stressed that during the program, the station manager advised advised the hosts during commercial breaks to keep the discussion aligned with the show's intended focus. Now, the conversation, however, continued to veer away from there. A decision then was made to end the show early. The release added that at no time following the incident did Isaacs contact the corporation's executive management to raise any concerns or file a formal complaint. However, should he wish to discuss matters of national importance and a political nature, he, as the case with every previous request for coverage, is welcomed. And as it regards the FNM's deputy, Shannon Cartwright's call for an apology, well, the BCB notes that he was invited and confirmed as a guest on the ZNS political program, The Rundown, just last week, but cancelled less than 24 hours before the scheduled appearance. In other news, a coroner's court jury has ruled the 2024 death of Evan Fox a murder, ending what had previously been suspected as suicide. Fox was found dead in his Dodge Ram truck in bushes off Frank Watson Boulevard back on April 29th. The 33-year-old was reported missing 2 days prior to this discovery. Police at the time revealed that a shotgun was found near his body. It was later determined that his injuries were self-inflicted, a determination that had always troubled Fox's family, who have all maintained that he did not take his own life. The coroner court jury seems to agree with them, and after an inquest, they returned a ruling that this was in fact murder. Well, the police commissioner, Shanton Knowles, taking time out during last week's Meet the Press to reflect on her time in office. Commissioner Knowles made history this past January by becoming the first woman to hold the high post in the force's history.
This is a beautiful journey. It is sometimes tedious, but there is nothing that we can't do as officers when we put our minds together and when we work as one team, and not as I, but a team of officers.
Well, the Atlantic hurricane season still has 3 months to go, and so far 4 storms have formed: Andrea, Barry, Chantal, and Dexter. What we can tell you is that if a natural disaster takes aim for the Bahamas, the Disaster Risk Management Authority will send an evacuation order to your phone before it actually strikes. Modeled after the Marcos alert system, the idea is to give residents time to prepare and evacuate to their nearest shelter if necessary. The DRM Authority's Assistant Director of Strategic Communications, Chantes Dillette Wilson, explains.
But don't ignore it in times of disaster either, because that will be giving you important information about which areas may or may not be evacuated, how long out storms are, and where you need to go.
And as spelled out in law, if an evacuation order is issued, the authority is not obligated to put first responders at risk for the sake of residents who contradict it.
If you stay after an evacuation order is issued, you put yourself at risk. You put your life at risk, you put your family at risk, and you cut yourself off from assistance until the all clear is given.
In a moment's notice, you can be under threat and under duress. And so it's really important for our residents to heed those warnings. We don't take issuing those lightly when we make that recommendation to the Prime Minister to issue that evacuation orders based on data that we've received from our Med Department in consultation with the likes of NOAA or the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. This is data-driven information that we're presenting to you, not, the social media commentators who are saying, hey, no, it's not coming.
ZNS News Tonight issuing an apology to former Director of Education, Dr. Marcellus Taylor, who's now posted at the University of the Bahamas' Government and Public Policy Institute. And this after identifying Dr. Taylor as chair of the Committee on Immigration Reform, which Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis recently told reporters he had not yet received a report. Here's Taylor outlining his role on the committee.
While I do serve on the committee, on the task force to review the immigration policies, that I am not the chairperson. And having served on committee, I will advise that I have done all the assignments, carried out all the instructions that I was asked to carry out, and I've done what I think is my part in advancing the work of the committee. I think it was erroneous for ZNS to report that I am the chairperson, because I am not.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations, excluding the airport and food truck.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road Back-to-School Special. Restrictions apply.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Now time to get a sneak peek of the lighter side of the news, and for that we turn to Marlena and Royston.
Well, Makushla, you know I'm excited because we've got a couple of very special guests today, but one of them is four-legged and furry, and we know that I love my dogs. I might not have done too well with the snake.
Yes.
But we've got...
Well. I think you did well.
I did well by not running out of the studio. That was the doing well. The bar was down here for me. But we've got Jaden Lockhart from the Canine Supplies tonight with his lovely four-legged assistant, Ginger.
We're looking forward to her. And a song comes to mind. Who led the...
Who led the dogs out?
There you go.
Well, stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Diet-friendly special.
By the Fantastic Four. It's the Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza new from Little Caesars with 4 different topping combinations together on one delicious pizza.
We make a point to do family dinner no matter what.
Get a Fantastic 4-in-1 pizza at a fantastic price only at Little Caesars. And see Fantastic Four First Steps in theaters July 24th.
For just $13 VAT inclusive, get it now at Little Caesars, Oatsfield, Carmichael Road, East Street South, Charles Saunders Highway, and Prince Charles in the One East Plaza.
Pizza.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Local officials are headed to Beijing, China to participate in a seminar focused on boosting growth in the small and medium-sized business sector here in the Bahamas. Bahamas Trade Commission Chair, Senator Barry Griffin, and Executive Chair of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator Randy Roll, are leading the delegation. Among the issues to be discussed, economic administration, trade and investment, city planning and administration, construction of developmental zones, and international labor cooperation.
SMEs are not only the backbone of the Bahamas economy, they are the heart of our communities. They create jobs, stimulate innovation, and provide the kind of inclusive growth that uplifts families and builds national resilience. And in a time of global upheaval, headwinds, equipping SMEs with the tools, knowledge, and the networks to thrive is more important than ever. That is why this seminar is so timely and so meaningful.
The seminar closes out on August 18th. And that does it for the National Report. But stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.